Chapter 9. The Scale. The following week was a marathon of pretending the conversation with Anne had never happened. I knew I was merely delaying the inevitable, but it felt as though the entire group, Anne included, had silently agreed not to disrupt the fragile balance between us. Leaving things as they were didn't feel like a choice. It felt like survival. Every day, my head was a storm of emotions, thick clouds swirling from the moment I woke up. My heart raced wildly whenever Ominous turned even a fragment of his attention toward me, his focus burning on my face like a spotlight. And then there was Sebastian, his casual proximity a constant, grounding and stabilizing me amidst the chaos. It was all I needed, all my body consumed. Even in those rare moments when reality crept in, pulling me from my intoxicated mind, I savored how deeply it devoured me. How my hollow stomach ached endlessly, how the warmth of tea spread through me yet filled nothing, how my skin felt raw, every nerve exposed, trembling at each sound that escaped Ominous's lips. How I had stopped trying to control my gaze altogether, tracing every delicate detail of him. The graceful tilt of his head when he listened attentively, the faint quirk of his mouth, the way his fingers moved like he was mapping the world, translating it into his secret language of senses. I was addicted, enchanted, trapped in a web of my own making, and there was no escape. Not that I wanted one.
So, any plans for your birthday, Ominous?
Sebastian asked, sprawled flat on his back with his arms and legs outstretched, chest heaving slightly. Behind him, the flames from his last spells slowly faded, the barrels creaking in protest. It seemed as though no spot in the Undercroft had been spared from Sebastian's relentless practice sessions. Everything bore signs of being either blown up or singed. Grinning, I looked down at him, wondering if he'd chosen this particular spot on purpose before he all but collapsed into my lap. His eyes flicked up to meet mine, one half closed, his smile wide despite his panting breaths. I watched as his wand slipped from his fingers, rolling onto the stone floor with a soft clatter.
You're the first of us to turn 16. That calls for something adventurous, don't you think?
He added, propping himself up on his elbows to glance toward his friend. Ominous, who had spent the last hour lounging half asleep on one of the crates, cracked open an eye, his brows knitting into a frown of disapproval.
I'd rather spend it right here, surrounded by the noise and chaos you produce. That's adventure enough,
he muttered, slowly shifting before stretching out again, as though trying to decide which side of the crate was less uncomfortable.
Well, that's no fun,
Sebastian grumbled, rolling onto his stomach and scooping up his wand in the process.
I was hoping for some exploring, if you know what I mean.
Before he could elaborate, Ominous straightened abruptly, groaning in exasperation.
Can't you stop with this nonsense?
He snapped, sitting up as the crate creaked beneath him.
I don't know where it is, and even if I did, I wouldn't tell you.
Ah, so you admit you've been thinking about it then?
Sebastian teased, wagging his wand with a triumphant grin. Ominous let out a forceful, irritated snort and leapt off the crate, yanking out his wand to guide him toward the exit.
Merlin, you can be insufferable sometimes.
He muttered, flicking his wand at the grid, which promptly opened for him.
You've got divination class in 5 minutes. I suggest you continue fueling your delusions over there.
I kept my eyes fixed on the spot where he'd disappeared, then turned slowly to Sebastian, my brows raised in a silent, accusing frown.
I'll explain later,
he said as he stood up, checking his watch.
We're going to be late for class.
I narrowed my eyes at him, a hint of distrust tugging at me as he headed for the door, leaving me no choice but to follow.